you know, recently there was obviously the Eric Garner situation that happened, and which was a tragedy. What are your thoughts on that, being an active duty police officer? What are your thoughts on that?
I think more than a failure of individuals, that particular officer, those particular officers on the scene, this was a failure of sort of a system. The offense itself was one that was petty, but to the people of that particular area, it was one that was significant enough to demand that action be taken to abate it.
The selling of the cigarettes?
That's correct.
Is that popular? Is that a big crime in that area?
It's a big crime not only in that area, it's a big crime in a lot of commercial strips where you have a lot of foot traffic, and the taxation of cigarettes has made it so all the surcharges to get people to stop smoking, it's had a negative effect in that it's opened a market for the black market cigarettes, the cigarettes from out of state that aren't taxed as heavily, that are cheap and you can sell for a comparable price in New York and make a tidy bit of profit off of it. So, but that also creates the conditions where the merchants who are paying their taxes, who are selling the cigarettes for what the state says they're supposed to sell it for, they're placing direct competition with these pirates. And Eric Garner, he had to supplement his income because he had some disability issues, and you know, a man's got to feed his family, so he attempted to sell the cigarettes, and he placed himself in direct competition with those merchants. The merchants always have the ear of the police department. Whatever commanding officer runs a particular command, they are going to listen to their merchants as well as the private citizens. So enough noise was made about the fact that these cigarettes were being sold to have action taken, and that action, the system kind of got the ball rolling and downhill for Eric Garner. Now, officers who aren't familiar with certain aspects of the community, they, to me, in my opinion, if you know your players, that's why I say it's very important to kind of know the players in your community. If you know the players, your rapport with them tends to be a lot smoother, especially over something minor. I don't know if those officers have dealt with Mr. Garner before, but it seems to me that, and I was, this as an aside, I was taught in the police academy that the best police officer is not the one that could shoot the fly off a wing, the wings off a fly at 50 yards, but one who could talk a bone out of a rabid pit bull's mouth. So it seemed there was a lack of communication. They had time. Right. I don't believe that their safety was imminently placed in danger by anything Eric Garner was doing.
He was surrounded. I mean, there was, yeah.
That's correct. But at the same time, they did inform him that he was being placed under arrest, and it's unfortunate that due to his size, when you size someone up, if you think you're going to encounter any bit of resistance in your mind, you're thinking, what am I going to have to do to take this person into custody as soon as possible? I don't think the thought in anyone's mind, I have no doubt, in my opinion, that the thought in any of those officers' mind was to seriously hurt or kill Eric Garner that day. But the combination of the tactics that were used and of his own ill health, it combined and it led to this situation, but it was worsened by the system because he did not receive prompt medical attention, in my opinion, in a timely fashion. I don't think he was assessed properly.